Women's basketball history. Fans everywhere anticipated big plays and exciting performances, but few were prepared for what would transpire at the All-Star Draft. Before the game even began, Caitlin Clark, one of the league's most well-known young players, took charge in a way rarely seen from a rookie, adding to the event's customs and creating headlines. She was accompanied on the national stage by notable individuals such as Sophie Cunningham and the well-known Cheryl Miller. Each of them had a unique part to play in what turned out to be a historic moment in sports history. Caitlin Clark, who has been making waves since her record-breaking undergraduate days at Iowa, had high expectations. She quickly gained the attention of peers and onlookers thanks to her long-range shooting, court vision, and courageous demeanor. She was so popular that she led all players in the All-Star fan voting, earning her the captaincy of one of the two All-Star teams. It was amazing in and of itself, especially because she was a newbie. But Clark didn't stop there. What she did next shocked the league. During the live broadcast All-Star Draft on July 8, 2025, Caitlin Clark achieved an unprecedented feat. She casually turned to the other team's captain, Nia Collier. When it came time to decide which head coaches would be allocated to each club at the end of the draft, and proposed a coach swap, something that had never happened in league history.
He's going to take her coach, Sandy Brondello. Let's get it.
Oh,
it's going to be amazing.
At first, Clark sought to trade Cheryl Reeve, the head coach of the Minnesota Lynx, for Sandy Brondello, the head coach of the New York Liberty, who had been assigned to Collier's team. The modification was authorized by the league executives when Nafi Sakhir agreed and laughed with Clark. This spontaneous event rapidly made news. Not only that, but no one had previously switched. It was the confidence with which Clark took control of the situation. She said, "I don't know if this is allowed. I don't really care," I said prior to proposing the transaction. Her boldness sent a message about how players are increasingly speaking up and how the game is administered, particularly at important events like the All-Star Game. Many admirers praised her for taking the initiative and adding excitement to the event. Some saw it as a direct response to recent disputes between Clark and Coach Reeve, including criticism that had come up during talks about the Olympic team earlier in the season. A well-known WNBA figure with years of experience and a strong coaching background, Coach Cheryl Reeve was recently involved in controversy regarding Caitlin Clark's Olympic snub. Clark's withdrawal from the Team USA women's basketball team for the 2024 Summer Olympics in Paris was motivated by Reeve, the coach of the national team. Anger between Clark and Reeve may have played a role in the rookie's decision to trade her out of the All-Star Game. Whether or not it was Clark's true intention, many fans and commentators believe the action made a subtle but powerful statement. The incident was handled coolly by Sophie Collier, who had coached Reeve on her squad after the swap. She made a joke about how the move might be a mistake for Clark because Reeve already knew every teammate of Collier's Minnesota Lynx. Despite the lighthearted atmosphere, it was clear that this was a deliberate and serious decision. Clark wanted a coach who could better understand her playing style and with whom she felt comfortable. Sandy Brondello, the coach she chose, is well known for her adaptable coaching style and strong bond with her players. Many believe that she would allow Clark the freedom to play the showcase game to the best of her abilities. As news of the coach trade spread on social media and in sports media, Sophie Cunningham, another WNBA player, joined the conversation. Cunningham has long advocated for players' rights and pushed boundaries in the league. Her blazing energy and forthright personality are well known. She was quick to show her support for Clark, praising her confidence and ability to control her time. Having witnessed her fair share of challenges in the league, Cunningham recognized the significance of a young player like Clark assuming a leadership role so early in her career. Additionally, Cunningham used the moment to demonstrate how the league is evolving. Players used to often follow the league's regulations mindlessly. With celebrities like Clark leading the way, the younger generation of athletes is now showing that they're not afraid to speak up and take initiative when they think something needs to change. Both the league's growth and women's sports in general will benefit from this. Cunningham stated, "When fans witness athletes being authentic, taking charge of their careers, and making daring decisions, they feel a stronger connection." While Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham made news with their bold acts and words, Legendary basketball player Cheryl Miller caused a stir with her thoughts and reaction to the situation. Cheryl Miller, a seasoned analyst and one of the greatest women's basketball players of all time, has always been an ardent advocate for the growth and integrity of the game. She said the coach swap was one of the most exciting and important moments in All-Star Game history. In her view, it was more than just amusement. The WNBA's view of players' power and ability to make decisions changed. Miller said this kind of gathering showed how far the league has come. In the past, players choosing or switching coaches on national television would have been unthinkable. Individuality, player involvement, and fan contact are now encouraged by the league. Miller praised Clark for his professionalism and confidence, noting that this will likely establish a new benchmark for future events. She believed that the WNBA was going to enter a new era where spectators would have more fun and players would have more control. By the completion of the draft, the All-Star Game pairings had been determined. The nucleus of Caitlin Clark's team included some of the most promising young players in the league, including Aaliyah Boston, Sada Sabali, Sabrina Ionescu, and A. Wilson. Under Sandy Brondello's leadership, the club combined powerful offense with astute leadership. On the other hand, Keir's squad, led by Cheryl Reeve, included Breanna Stewart, Paige Buchers, Mecca Almike, and Alicia Gray, another tough group. The All-Star Game on July 19th was anticipated to be a fantastic event full of drama, energy, and excitement, in addition to being competitive. What made the story so compelling was its capacity to blur the lines between competition and entertainment. Clark introduced the unscripted drama that is typically featured in men's leagues, especially the NBA. When LeBron James speaks out or modifies the team's dynamics, there is a lot of conversation. When Caitlin Clark began doing something similar in the WNBA, the entire globe took note. For a league that has often struggled to get equal media coverage, this was a fantastic moment. Highlight reels, panel discussions, and viral videos flooded social media. The audience had grown beyond just sports fans. People who had never watched the WNBA before developed an interest in it. Many observers also pointed out that this was not a planned media show. It was genuine, spontaneous, and full of uniqueness. That sincerity was what attracted so many people. The sports media has sometimes criticized the WNBA for being unduly rigorous, asking players to follow the rules, remain silent, and focus only on the game. But Caitlin Clark fixed it in a single sentence, and she was commended by the media. This moment also made one thing very clear. Player impact in the WNBA is growing. Athletes had little influence over the big choices made by coaches and league authorities for a very long period. But the all-star coach transition signaled a shift. In addition to wanting to take part in the decision-making process, Clark showed that the players are ready to take the lead. Numerous aspects of the league also demonstrate this. Players like A.A. Wilson, Breanna Stewart, and Namiki, who have taken on leadership roles within the Players' Union, have helped shape marketing, travel, and pay regulations. It's clear that the next generation of athletes has more influence than. It's also interesting that the league didn't shut it down. The WNBA allowed the coach swap to take place even though it went against the established format. That unspoken support said a lot. It served as a communication tool for the league. The players are being heard. In other leagues, this kind of behavior would have led to fines or negative publicity, but it was praised here and created headlines. That demonstrates how much the WNBA is growing in terms of player leadership, trust, and talent. Without a doubt, a larger generational transition in basketball was also symbolized by the coach change. A new generation of athletics includes athletes like Caitlin Clark, confident, tech-savvy, and unafraid to challenge the status quo. This younger generation seen NBA players express themselves both on and off the court while growing up. They saw how athletes interacted directly with fans using social media, player branding, and public venues. The WNBA is currently doing the same thing. The younger generation does not want to be limited by long-standing structures. They want rivalries to grow, personalities to show, and dramatic events to naturally occur. One of the best examples of that type of thinking was the All-Star Game coach exchange. Because it was bold, spontaneous, and a little rebellious, fans loved it. Among other previous generations of athletes, Legends like Tamika Catchings and Sue Bird build the foundation with effort and skill. These days, players like Caitlin Clark are creating something bigger, louder, and more noticeable. The WNBA of today is distinctive due to its blending of the past and present on top of that basis. The league is evolving while upholding its fundamental principles. Because of Caitlin Clark's boldness, corporate sponsors' opinions of the WNBA are also shifting. Brands place a great value on athletes who can create viral moments. When the coach changeover garnered millions of views and trending hashtags, businesses took notice. Clark already had important relationships with businesses like Gatorade and Nike before the season began. But this kind of attention makes her even more marketable. In terms of sponsorships, the WNBA is much more personality-driven than before. Statistics by themselves are not as significant as star power. When players make headlines, brands are exposed. Following the draft, marketing analysts predicted a rise in WNBA jersey sales, demand for tickets to all-star games, and league exposure. Some even compare Clark's influence on the WNBA to that of Serena Williams in tennis or Simone Biles in gymnastics. She is bringing the sport to a new audience. Clark is not the only one either. Sophie Cunningham's vocal support and Cheryl Miller's perceptive remark elevated the occasion. It proved that the WNBA is full of strong, outspoken women ready to challenge norms and lead cultural conversations. The brands of today want to participate in that. This all-star moment is likely to change future plans for the event. It is now more than just a fun show. It's a stage for leadership, influence, and creative control. Fans may now expect the players to press for annual revisions. Will athletes choose their coaches again? Will the coaching staff be chosen by the supporters? Is it feasible for leaders to change other responsibilities mid-game in response to a captain's challenge? The WNBA has the opportunity to encourage fan interaction and innovation. By giving players more freedom, the league might expand the scope of All-Star Weekend. People are interested in more than just basketball. They are looking for stories, rivalries, personalities, and unpredictability. Caitlin Clark gave them all of that in one evening. Even the framework of the All-Star Game can alter. The NBA has already tested a number of strategies, such as target scores and team charity. The WNBA might follow a similar path, where innovation and history interact in intriguing ways. Fans were interested in more than just the outcome of the All-Star Game because of up-and-coming players like Clark and fearless voices like Cunningham and Miller impacting the conversation. They observed how the players responded to the altered dynamics, how the coaches handled unanticipated events, and how Clark's leadership evolved. The coach swap, which was initially thought to be a rule-breaking move, ended up being the event's turning point and possibly the league's. Remember to subscribe and hit the like button for more WNBA updates. Please let us know in the comments whether this was a power play, a message to the league, or a play for entertainment.